And Uncle Tony, big Uncle Tony's here, folks. Happy New Year to Uncle Tony. Who else is in that I haven't seen? Robert, nice to see you, Robert. Okie dokie. Has anybody seen or heard from Frank? I'm unsure whether Frank's going to be able to join us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's his birthday, but, you know, I mean, I don't know whether he's suffocated the children and put them to bed early enough. Is Arto, our FNC, our Finnish comedian, is he in the room? I haven't seen him yet. Or Jan the Man, our referee, is he in the room? Her indoors has just realised, with a mouthful of pizza, that she hasn't got the whistle for the Jan the Man questions. Okay, here we go. Here's our normal, folks. Crawling under the table because she doesn't want to be seen on camera. Claire said she drank chamomile tea and watched Graham Norton. Bloody lockdown. Shocking, honestly. Yes, just on time. You'd think that she planned it. Dutch referee says, I am here, and she scares the devil outside of me whistling behind. Also, Lorraine and Warren Point is here. That's my favourite sister-in-law, only because she comes online and the other one can't hear me. Yes, she's down in Warren Point at my mum and dad's house at the moment, her and my brother and the kids. Nice to that you've joined on tonight. I'd also like to say a quick special happy birthday to my dad. It's going to be my dad's birthday tomorrow. I'm not going to give away his age, but he's over 80. But I mean, basically, once he got past 70, he didn't care anymore. What can I tell you? If I reach half of it, I'll be happy. I'm aiming for 36 at my next birthday. Claire O'Brien, it's all about you. My boyfriend, I think it's either I am or Ian, wants a shout out. I'll tell you when he... Oh, Lorraine's going to tell me when he's here. Okay, so then I'll do my other... I'll wish my dad a happy birthday again. Okay, thanks for that. Holy smoke! Our special agent, Jodie's dad. Yes, folks, our official secret agent is also here. He's not giving us any sort of place where he actually is because he could be on a mission, folks. But what can I tell you? Is Mum here? Or Mira Meriden? Mira Meriden's here as well. Wendy, my dear. Thank you for the email. Wendy got her ho 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 Christmas mask. It arrived in the post. Okay, Claire's just remembered which guy she's with. It's not I am. It's not Ian. It is in fact Liam. I wish you the very best of luck with that one, Liam. What can I tell you, my friend? Now I'm in trouble for getting his name right. Claire, what can I tell you? Third time lucky. How are you, I am? How are you, Ian? I mean, hello, Liam. Jodie's dad is informing us, no mission today. I am in Meriden with the wifey. Her indoors. Have I ever told you? Do you know that Meriden is actually the centre of England? No. Really? And you know, there's also a pole in the middle of Meriden, and when you stand next to that pole, you're actually in the heart of England. Wow. I tell you, honestly, I am going to go and get a frickin' photograph the next time we get the chance to visit her indoors. Parents, folks, from the Midlands, but that's as far as I'm going to divulge to you. Lizzie, bro, my mind is blown. Holy smoke, Liz the legend. She's absolutely shocked at that little bit of trivia that Meriden is, in fact, the centre of England, folks. It's only the 39th week in a row that I've told you that. I'll let the sheep minion learn something every week new. That's about time. Holy smoke, look who it is. Naughty Norma. Top of the evening to you, Norma. Jody Stodds just informed us that when they moved to Burnham-on-Sea, it has apparently, folks, the smallest pier in England. But I don't believe Jody Stodd. I'm going to check that out for myself. Well, folks, what can I tell you? It is January the 1st. Last night, let me tell you about what happened to me last night. Chicken Dinner says Meriden should be Middleton. Hey, Chicken Dinner used to be a winner. Minion Jesse wants to know, it's okay moving to a place like Burnham-on-Sea, but does it have a pole in the centre of the pier? I don't freaking know. I bet you there's plenty of poles walking up and down the pier. Is that the sort of pole that he means? Her indoors is shaking her head again. I don't know why. Damar 1980, how you doing? Did you get your Christmas mask? Oh, a couple of jokes here. New Year's jokes. What does the little champagne bottle call his father? Oh, there's controversy already. Jody Stodds caused controversy already with his smallest pier in frickin' England comment. Jerome's come on and said Wigan's got the smallest pier. Electric Sheep Minions. What does the little champagne bottle call his father? Pop. See these Dutch jokes that he translates, honestly and truthfully. If he could only hear me and I could tell him, it just doesn't work. You know, he tries every week, you know. Anyway, her endorse it. What, leave him alone? Okay. So, folks, come back, Arto, all is forgiven. Indeed. Where is Arto? Ladies and gentlemen, Arto, our official Finnish comedian, at enormous expense. Maybe he's working. God, maybe he's working. I never thought of that. Jody Stodd is now stating that Wigan Pier doesn't go out into the sea. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, her indoors, our head of technical advice, has said the shortest pier in England, 36 metres, according to the people of Burnham. According to the people of Burnham. The Burnham-on-Sea website says Weymouth's Bandstand Pier is shorter, but only because it was deliberately blown up by the council in 1986. Folks, this is the sort of place they're moving to. And that's clearly cheating. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't believe him. Minion Jesse says that means it's just scaffolding. Well, technically, it isn't. It isn't a pier anymore. It used to be a pier, but it's okay now. Jerome BB405, where are you and why are you so touchy about Wigan frickin' Pier? Well, folks, what can I tell you? Yes, tonight, of course, and there isn't that many of them left, we will be playing for the Irish question mark official face masks, the most sought after item of merchandise on the internet, or on the interweb even. Do you know what? I better start the draw. Claire's not going to know anything what's happening. Liam doesn't even know he's called Liam, but let's get the draw started. Let me see. I've had a week off. I don't know whether I can remember how to do it. I might have to get on the phone to Strucho, our head of technical advice. Okay, folks, talk among yourselves. Leave it with me. I am trying at this present moment in time to get our draw started. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All you need to do now is type George into the chat, and you should be automatically into tonight's draw. Tonight's draw, just to put her indoors under a little bit of pressure, is we're going to do one of our face masks, and we're also going to do one of our Irish question mark mugs, because I meant to do one on Christmas Day. Where are they, her indoors? Off she runs, ladies and gentlemen. Off she runs. She hasn't got a clue where they are. Oh, hold on. She's running that quick. I don't think she's going to make it. Oh, look who's in. Arto or FNC. Don't bang it down too hard. The handles will come off. All right, folks. What can I tell you? Look at this. It's been a while since you've seen these. the Irish question mark mugs with a little spoon. We're going to be raffling off one of them later on tonight, folks, and also raffling off our face mask. Okay, so make sure you're in the draw. Is Liz trying to sort of swing it that she actually wins by saying, "GP, what a cute name"? Is she talking about me? What can I tell you? Dutch referee, you are as lucky as a girl with no knickers on. Of course you can still enter, because you are our only triple winner. Have you got a mug yet, Jan the man? That's the question. There's going to be a lucky Dutch postman wins tonight. There's going to be a lucky Dutch postman wins tonight. Is he speaking Scottish again? Dutch referee doesn't have a mug yet, ladies and gentlemen. What can I tell you? If he wins, he might have to just come to my house and pick it up, because I don't trust the Dutch post. They keep breaking them on me. Alright, folks. So, no sign of Frank yet. It is his birthday, and I don't really want to go on without him, but we'll give him another minute or two. Gordy, has your mug not arrived yet? Has your mask arrived yet? I'm getting all the blame, and it's the what can I tell you? You know, when you're sending such high quality merchandise that everyone in the world wants, and only one or two can win per week, I reckon the postman x-ray the package, check there's no drugs, look at the mask, and go, I quite like that myself, actually. Electric Sheep Minion, I'm going to get another glass of water and ice. I think that's Electric Sheep Minion's way of saying that he's not having a drink tonight. Not sure if you've seen my comment, but my dad is listening. Yes, folks, indeed, it is my dad's birthday tomorrow. Now, I would love to be going to Ireland. In fact, I would love to be sitting, quarantining in a hotel in Ireland, doing the show from Ireland, and then going round and surprising my dad tomorrow. But sorry, it ain't going to happen. I'm in my house with her indoors and George. I'd like to wish my dad a very happy birthday. He's 80 plus. Once you go past 80, you don't count the years anymore. You count the days. Dad, I love the ground you walk on. Okay, enough of that emotional stuff. Gordy in Aberdeen wants to know, is that Claire that you would be occasionally found on the floor in the Pochine? I hope not. That she's not on the floor of the Pochine anymore, or else she'd be concreted into the floor, because it's gone. But yes, indeed, Gordy, that is the very Claire O'Brien that you think it is. So thank you very much, folks, for wishing my dad. My dad's name's Arthur, for wishing him a happy birthday. A hell of a man, I can tell you, a hell of a man. Okay, folks, let's get started with the tonight's show. As you see in front of you, the big fat quiz of the year. Tonight's quiz is all about 2020. Things that happen in 2020. Yeah, I agree, Claire. On the floor as in working. Yeah. Don't worry. I'm sure I am, or Ian has seen the better side of you. Now, tonight's quiz, as I was saying, is all about the year 2020. Now, you might see some familiar questions in there, because this is our 39th week in a row doing, well, we took a week off last week, but it was Christmas. So show number 39. So I plucked a few questions from the previous shows, but not too many. Anyway, we'll see how good your memory is and how much sparkling, cheap, dodgy white wine that Norma could be drinking or would be drinking during tonight's show in her pajamas. Electric Sheep Minion is saying, when in doubt, the answer is COVID-18. Don't listen to him, folks. He never gets it right. Minion Me wrote down all the answers. I'm going to win. No, you're not. Okay, so let's get started, folks, and maybe Frank will join us. He's possibly getting the kids down, or he could be visiting the in-laws and isn't allowed to tune in. So get yourself a pen and a piece of paper. For anyone that doesn't know how it works, very simple. I'm going to ask 6 rounds of 10 questions. Halfway through, I'll give you the answers. Mark yourself, and it's all about having a little giggle, hanging in together, chilling out on a Friday night during these crazy lockdown days. So, you know where to find me. You can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, or on Twitch, and all you got to do basically is search Irish ? You know, her indoors is doing that well tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to keep her. She's even remembered my coffee. It's quiz time. Thank you very much, Sophie and Sarah, my 2 little grandchildren. Oh, wow. Happy 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Things can only get better, and they will only get better. Don't listen to the fake news. Get the bloody jab. Get as many jabs as they're going to give you for free. The side effects, I'm sure, can't be any worse than the side effects of doing a Friday night with Irish ? and her indoors. Here we go, folks. Round 1. Question number 1. And let's get started. I'm taking you back to January 2020. Which country's south coast was battling against large fires? Back in January, which country's south coast was battling against large fires? Things can only get better. Pretty good track. Indoor Kite says, do we accept Canada? He doesn't get out often, Arto. Number 2. A flight from which European country crashed in Tehran, Iran, killing all 176 passengers on board? So, name the country. A flight from which European country crashed in Tehran, Iran, killing all 176 passengers on board. Number 3. If you don't know this, folks, where have you been for nearly a whole year? Which city in China was the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak? Which city in China was the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak? You see, I told you not to trust Minion Me. Thinks the answer is COVID. Lizzie saying an unpopular opinion is it was New York City. Unbelievable. You take her out of America and all of a sudden she's so anti-American you'd think she was a Trump follower. Number 4. Who split from movie producer Jon Peters after just 12 days of marriage? Mrs. Peters, her indoors, would be the correct answer, but you ain't getting any points for that because she's known for she's a little bit more famous than the bog standard Mrs. Peters. There's no need to apologise. I've been with you over 25 years. J. Ter Harmsel, thank you for your kind donation to tonight's virtual tip jar. Where am I? I take a week off and I've lost it. I forgot to tell you folks, the virtual tip jar is open. Talking about open, holy smoke, it's Jan the Man, our first sport question tonight. Thank you very much. Our sound effects department eventually got caught up with the program. This is especially going out to any Liverpool fan. I thought I'd be nice to them the start of the year. How many times has Liverpool won the league? We're talking about the First Division and the Premier League. Minyami said, I know the answer to that one. Only once in 2020. Everyone thinks they're a comedian. This is a 2020 quiz, right? Yes, indeed. It is a 2020 quiz, and if you included what they had before 2020 and you added that they won the Premier League in 2020, that would give you the right answer. Smart ass. M. Pessers, thank you very much for your kind donation. Number 6. This should be familiar to anyone that's been at the quizzes before. Which actor plays Dr. Ivo Robotnik in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which, by the way, Minyami, was released in, you got it, 2020. That is smart ass. Thank you for your kind donation. Oh, Claire's saying Liam's a Liverpool fan. He better be right. Well, actually, Claire, I'm unsure whether he's going to be right or whether you're going to be right. Are you sure he's a Liverpool fan? Alrighty, moving on swiftly to number 7. Which city was due to host last year's Olympic and Paralympic Games? Which city was due to host last year's Olympic and Paralympic Games? Number 8. Okay, this is talking about awards. Which artist became the first to win all 4 major Grammy Awards in 2020, collecting the Record of the Year, the Album of the Year, the Song of the Year, and the Best New Artist? I mean, if you don't know that, did you sleep through the whole of 2020? Number 8, which artist became the first to win all 4 major Grammy Awards in 2020, collecting the Record of the Year, the Album of the Year, the Song of the Year, and the Best New Artist? Number 9. Taking you back to February, which country became the first to make all public transport free of charge? In February this year, that is before the outbreak, which country became the first to make all public transport free of charge? Would you like a clue, ladies and gentlemen? I'd like to thank Jay Van Hastricht for your very kind donation. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, and I'm going to try and not abuse you too much throughout tonight's show. Minion Jesse saying no clues are necessary. Well, you know, folks, I always do what Minion Jesse tells me. Well, on a Friday night anyway. Benjamin says the public transport is free of charge and you also get Corona free on top of it. What, bottles of Corona? Jesus, I might move there myself. Number 10. Folks, have you noticed there is no dingbat? Her indoors, there's no dingbats tonight. There's no anagrams tonight, her indoors. It's all about 2020. I thought I'd give you a break, folks, from the dingbats, from the anagrams, but they will return next week. Number 10, name the latest James Bond movie that has been delayed to 2021. Liz, thank you very much for your kind donation. Liz the legend, and she's very upset. There's no dingbats and there's no anagrams. This is fresh for people that used to hate them. Now all of a sudden I do one show, there's no dingbats, there's no anagrams. The next thing, Gordy and Aberdeen will be complaining. That would be different, wouldn't it? Alrighty folks, so you know what you need to do if you want to get into the draw for tonight's mask, the most sought after piece of merchandise on the interweb, now that we only have a few of the Irish question mark mugs. What can I tell you? I have one put aside that I need to deliver to Warren Point because Lorraine in Warren Point, she won one of the mugs, and I'll drop it off if I ever get the chance to go back to Ireland. Robert, thank you very much for your donation. Okay. Yes, folks, the virtual tip jar is open. I'm just going to pop the links into the chat. The top one is for any Dutch bank, and the one down below is a PayPal link for any international donations. If you are enjoying tonight's show and you want to send a few pound, punts, euros, dollars, or dongs, I meant to say, Vietnam. Anyway, what can I tell you? Maybe I should tell you what happened last night. At the stroke of midnight, folks, our street normally starts to sound like Crossmaglen in South Armagh. So there's loads of loud noises, bangs, flashes. Last night, not a single firework at 12 o'clock, folks. But some lunatic at the end of the street for 2 hours had an air raid siren. Like, it sounded like Warren Point Fire Station fire horn going off, or like something you'd see in a war movie. It was constant, and I have a video of it. I was going to show you the video and put it on here, but it isn't that exciting. All you can hear is the horn and a police van driving around looking to see where the horn was. But after about 5 minutes, then all of a sudden, bang, the firework ban was breached. But I'm sure that it was breached all over Holland. Jesse, that was not me with a frickin' air raid siren. But I can tell you what, if I had got my hands around the guy's throat, our 1.5-year-old grandson was sound asleep. And then I had him playing with a toy garage for 2 hours while the air horn went off. But it all ended well, what can I tell you? Jesse and Marika, thank you very much. Micah, sorry, for your beautiful donation. Thank you very much indeed. Herman Doors reckons it was coming from, the Fruchtenberg, that sort of area. Further, Herman Doors reckons it was coming from, what? Blumenberg, what sort of street or what sort of area? The Foxy Estrade, Herman Doors reckons. Anyway, folks, what can I tell you? I was going to do deaths in 2020, but then I knew Minion Me would whinge about it. Or, quite possibly, Electric Sheep Minion would whinge about it. I know it's Foxy Estrade. Even Liz thinks it was Foxy Estrade when that horn was gone off. We only had coloured smoke. Infantry was deployed elsewhere. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. So what I do is I thought I'd make it nice and easy. It's the first quiz of a new year, folks. I've done a couple of countries just where you see the outline and you just simply name the country. Claire O'Brien, thank you very much, Claire, for donating €10 there on the pay system on the Twitch. Thank you very much indeed. And Gordy, God bless you. And I'll be thinking about you tomorrow when the Mighty Tims run rampant and start to fight back to win the 10 in a row. See, I can say that now that you've given your donation. Okay, here is country number 1. Which country do you think this is? Don't worry, you will get a chance to see them again. So we'll go through the first 10 quite quickly, and then we'll give you 30 seconds to have a look at 2 at a time. I just thought I'd explain it directly to Liam so Liam could explain it to Claire. Number 2. Okay. Number 3. These are so easy, it's embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. Her indoors, how are you getting on with the picture round?
Easy.
Easy? Yeah. Do you want to write down some of the answers so I can double check them? Hold on, let me just lift the answers away from you. Rachel, thank you very much for your very kind donation. Thank you, Rachel Minion. Number 4. Number 5. Any of these looking familiar yet, ladies and gentlemen? Don't forget, make sure you type George into the chat tonight, folks, and that will get you into our draw. We're going to do 2 draws tonight, one for the mask and one for the old coffee mug that everyone's wanting. Thank you very much, the naughty Norma, for your very kind donation. Thank you, Norma. Norma hasn't informed me whether she's having a glass of wine tonight in her pajamas or whether she's having a dry January and having a glass of sparkling spring water, pretending it's champagne. Tigress C, you've done the right thing. You've typed George and you are now in our draw, which we'll be doing at the end of the quiz. This is country number 7, folks, and I think I'm going through these far too slow. Number 8. Number 9. And number 10. Tiger C, how are you doing? Okay, I'm going to show you them once again. This is round number 2. Ardo, our F&C, is I'm having a dry January starting tomorrow because I knew this was coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank's arrived. Folks, happy birthday, Frank. You know, we tried to hold off and not start the show until you arrived, Frank, but now you're here. On behalf of myself, her indoors, my whole family, the grandchildren, and everyone else on the Thorbeckelaan in Den Haag. Happy birthday, Frank. This is your first 2 in our picture round. Remember, it's double points. Name these 2 countries. Liz has said she's not giving up drink until the pandemic's behind us. I think she's going to die of liver cirrhosis. Alrighty, that is number 1 and number 2. Name the country. Your next one, number 3 and number 4. Which 2 countries is this? Chicken dinner, I used to be a winner. Thank you very much, Josh, for your kind donation, my friend. Oh, Norma's in her PGs, having a wee glass, but she's not telling us whether it's wine or sparkling water. Clever, that naughty Norma. Your next one. Number 5 and number 6. Josh and Tanila. Of course, I mean, I apologize. Next time I'll just say, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Thank you for your very kind donation. Josh obviously got a slap for putting his name only onto the donation. And damn straight and well deserved. Slap him one from me. Number 7 and number 8. Frank says number 5 is Europe's Wang. I think Frank's on the jungle juice already. Her indoors. Yeah, I think he got up this morning. He had like champagne and orange juice, and he thought it was New Year's Eve. And your last two, folks, number 9 and number 10. Name these countries. Yeah, I should give Frank a break. It's his birthday. I am sorry, Frank. Is your better half with you tonight, Frank? That's what I want to know. Okay, talking about Frank and his better half, look at that. In the middle of the Mugs Gallery, folks. Frank would have missed the big news tonight. There is a fully intact Irish question mark mug available to win tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in our first show of 2021. These are our limited edition Mask Winners Club. They are a very, very special group of people. Thank you very much indeed for supporting me and Her Indoors throughout this absolute madness. Talking about madness, folks, I'm not sure. Is Gary Butt in the house tonight? I can't remember seeing him coming in. Tiger C wants both. I think Tiger C wants the mask, the 2 masks, and the mug. Well, they just got to come every week and enter. SRB 1055 is in the house tonight, I do believe. It's Gary's birthday. Happy birthday, Gary, and happy birthday, Frank. Should we sing the song, Her Indoors? No. Okay, we won't. Happy birthday, by the way. And I'm hoping that it is Gary Butt, that's birthday that I think it is. And it's not that it's someone else who lives in Dublin who I thought he was when he's actually in Ipswich. And there's another person that now I realise who it is. Anyway, it's all too confusing. Folks, let's go on to round 3. Question number 1. In March, the country of North Macedonia joined NATO, taking the members' countries to a total of how many? In March, the country of North Macedonia joined NATO, taking the members' countries to a total of how many? Is it A, 10, B, 20, or C, 30? A, 10, B, 20, or C, 30? Her Indoors, choose to have a guess at that one. Progress, not perfection, ladies and gentlemen. She's got one right. Well done, Her Indoors. Woo, woo. Question number 2. According to Forbes magazine, which CEO is the first person in history to have a net worth exceeding $200 billion? According to Forbes magazine, which CEO is the first person in history to have a net worth exceeding $200 billion? Your next question. Question number 3. Gisaeng Chung is the original title of this South Korean movie, which collected 4 Oscars in 2020. What is the English title? Gisaeng Chung Hey, I'm basically South Korean, is the original title of this South Korean movie, which collected 4 Oscars in 2020. What is the English title to this movie? Her Doris, did you see this movie? No. Maybe it's one we should check out. I very nearly said the name of it. Which movie? What's it called? No, I'm not going to tell you. Alrighty. Gordy says he watched it and it wasn't it great, Paul? It wasn't it great? See, I don't know whether this is actually Gordy or it's his better half, Suze. Chicken Dinner said, I didn't know South Park got 4 Oscars. That Josh fella needs to get out more often. In May, which country was the first to legalize same-sex marriage in Central America? In May, which country was the first to legalize same-sex marriage in America, Central America? Was it A, Costa Rica? Was it B, Panama? Or was it C, Nicaragua? In May 2020, which country was the first to legalize same-sex marriage in Central America? A, Costa Rica, B, Panama, or C, Nicaragua? I have to just mention, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, made in Meriden, I have been chomping through my limited edition orange flavoured Cadbury Twirls, and it's been a solo mission because I've hidden them, so no one else in the house knows where they are. Including her indoors, ladies and gentlemen, because she's quite fond of her Cadbury's chocolate. But I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to both yourself and Jody for dropping them round to the house. It was a beautiful gesture. Thank you very much indeed. Number 5, it is of course a Jan the Man question, and I put this question in especially because it's a very rare event. When did Scotland's men last qualify for a major international football tournament? And I don't mean last year. I mean before 2020. Minion Me thought he was being clever and said 2020. I mean before 2020. What can I tell you? I wonder who I was thinking about when I put this question in. Yes, indeed. Our friend and yours. There it is, folks, in case you're wondering what Gordy looks like. He sent this little video wishing me a happy Christmas, and I'd like to wish Gordy a very happy Christmas on behalf of myself, her indoors, and the whole family. And Gordy's better half, Suze, she's going straight to heaven if there is one. Alrighty, question number 6. Which Exeter-based regional airline went into administration in March 2020? Sorry, Gordy. I just didn't want to put the latest video of you on because people might be shocked at your COVID build-up. Which Exeter-based regional airline went into administration in March 2020? And I'm saying here, where's my refund? But we did, in fact, get a refund from this company, her indoors. Do you remember? She doesn't even know where she is. Do you remember the airline that I booked a flight for you to go home to visit your ones, and then the airline went bust? I think it was a sign from God that you shouldn't go home to upset your family. But we actually got a refund back from them. Alrighty, our next question, question number 7, as I move swiftly along, and ignore Gordy trying to rile me. When did Ireland last win without an Englishman in their team? I don't know. Ask their fathers, because they were Irishmen, and all the Englishmen had Irish passports. Like the rest of them since Brexit, I may say. Hey, Gordy, have you got your Irish passport yet? Question number 7. This person said a quote about COVID-19. I want you to tell me who this was that said this quote. It's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle. It will disappear. Tell me who you think said that wonderful quote. It's gonna disappear one day. It's like a miracle. It will disappear. Your next one, number 8. I like this question, folks, because when you hear the answer, it's very obvious. But it's not so obvious if you don't really like music. In 2020, who became the first female artist to have a top 40 album in each of the last 7 decades? In 2020, who became the first female artist to have a top 40 album in each of the last 7 decades? Now, I could give you a clue, but then everyone's going to expect me to say, I nearly said what the sex was there, where this person was from, and it's not Ireland, but that's not the clue. Her indoors. If I was going to give a clue and not tell the rest of them, I have a feeling that Jodie's dad drove this woman to school. So, in 2020, who became the first female artist to have a top 40 album in each of the last 7 decades? Minion Jesse is shining a light in his music knowledge by guessing Rita Ora. Number 9. This had to be in the quiz question for a review of the year for 2020. I asked you who was the first person, the first British person to get the COVID-19 vaccine in the last quiz. And I did mention who the second person was, because he's got a rather peculiar name. So the question is, what was the name of the gentleman from Warwickshire? Is Meriden in Warwickshire? She thinks so. Who was the second British person to get the COVID-19 vaccine? First and second name, please, ladies and gentlemen. Her indoors. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, Rita Ora.
It's not Rita Ora.
I agree with Jesse.
You agree with Jesse. Rita Ora is not a gentleman from Warwickshire. Unbelievable. Rick Ora. Oh, and number 10. I'd like you to have a guess to the nearest 1,000. How many votes did Kanye West receive in this year's US election? This year being 2020, obviously. How many votes? Was it approximately 40,000, approximately 50,000, or approximately 60,000? So, to the nearest 1,000, how many votes did Kanye West receive in the US election? Me says he reckons 50, but he doesn't mean 1,000. Unbelievably. Don't demand a recount. I mean, you know, our friend Mr. T, Mr. Trump, he tried that and it didn't work out. So, I've given you 3 choices. Was it nearly 40,000, nearly 50,000, or nearly 60,000 votes? Unbelievable. Would you trust this man with the buttons to nuclear bombs? He would set them off while doing a rap. Okay. Half time already, folks. Let's give you the answers to our first 3 rounds. Before I say that, Ardo, I hope you have a few, Ardo our FNC, I hope he's getting warmed up and ready for tonight's quiz to give us a few jokes at half time. No, her indoors has just informed me, no Christmas jokes, Ardo, or FNC, no Christmas jokes this time. So, folks, in case I haven't said it enough, you've got to type George in the chat. That enters you into tonight's draw, where you have the chance of winning one of the Irish question mark mugs and little spoons that sit in the handle thingy, or Still the most sought after gift on the interweb, ladies and gentlemen. The Irish handmade tricolour embroidered mask with Irish linen on the inside. What can I tell you, folks? Type George in the chat. That's all you need to do to get into the draw. The virtual tip jar is open, folks. Thank you very much indeed. As most of you are here, you all know that the venues are all closed here, and this is my main income at the moment. So, thank you very much for all your kind donations so far. And I'm going to move swiftly along and give you the questions and answers to the first half of tonight's show. By the way, please be honest, because the only person you're kidding is yourself. Her indoors is trying to get my attention. What would you like to say, her indoors? I've frozen, but you had to go out and you come back again. Okay. Have I frozen for everybody else her indoors? You've been the head of technical department. You would be able to tell me this. Everyone, am I frozen or am I still here? Minion Jesse, please type in the chat if you can hear me saying you're a bit of a bollocks. No, all's good. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Thanks, chicken dinner. Okay, folks, round 1, 2020 trivia. Here is your first question and answer. In early... it was us. I did freeze. I thought it was us. Her indoors has done something, folks, behind the scenes. Don't blame me, blame her. Early January, which country's south coast was battling against the large fires? It was, of course, for 1 point, Australia. It could be number 2. A flight from which European country crashed in Tehran, Iran, killing all 176 passengers? They were from the Ukraine. Give yourself a point if you got that one correct. Number 3, during the Wuhan Shuffle, the city that was the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak, Wuhan in China. And if things don't improve much here in Holland, folks, I'm thinking about moving to Wuhan in China because they're having a great time over there in nightclubs with masks on. Everyone dancing. I could even get doing my quizzes if I could only speak Chinese. Number 4, who split from producer John Peters? After just 12 days of marriage, it was indeed, folks, someone a lot sweeter than Mrs. Peters, Pamela Anderson. Minion me, and you can eat some bats on the Barbie. Jesus. Number 5, Arjan de Man, our official FIFA-endorsed referee. How many times have Liverpool won the league, First Division and Premier League? Well, after winning the Premier League for the first time in 2020, minion me, it was a total of 19. Did Ian, Iam or Liam guess that one correct, Claire? Number 6. The actor that played Dr. Ivo Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog movie was Mr. Jim Carrey. Give yourself a point if you got that one correct. Number 7. Which city was due to host last year's Olympic and Paralympic Games? The correct answer for 1 point is Tokyo. Your next one, number 8, the artist that became the first to win all 4 major Grammy Awards in 2020. Collecting Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist of the Year was not Rita Ora. It was, in fact, Billie Eilish, who sings the theme tune to James Bond. So that won't be a question in tonight's quiz, I think. Number 9, in February of this year, The country that became the first to make all public transport free of charge was in fact Luxembourg. I do believe that's because bugger all people live there. So if you wrote down Luxembourg, that is the correct answer. And number 10. Wrapping up our first one. Yes, she sings the theme title to the James Bond movie, No Time to Die. Give yourself a point if you got that right. So that is your first round tonight, folks. I hope you are doing okay and not getting so upset if you didn't get that many correct. Because it's all about participation, not about how many wrong points you give yourself for that feel-good factor early in January 2021. Moving on to name the country from its outline. Double points up for grabs. Number 1, it is Poland. Give yourself 2 points if you guessed Poland. Number 2. It is Spain. Give yourself 2 points if you got that one correct. Number 3. Austria. Give yourself 2 points if you got that correct. Arto, if you wrote down Australia, don't give yourself any points. Number 4. Your friend and ours, yes indeed, Germany. Number 4. Number 5. Sweden is the correct answer for number 5. I might have to use my finger. That's what I was pointing at. Here. Oh, no. Okay. Sweden. Number 6. Denmark. Obviously, folks, you're starting to see the connection here. They're all basically in Europe. Your next one. Number 7. Hungary is the correct answer. Remember, this is a double point round. So if you get these right or any of these right, give yourself 2 points. Number 8. Switzerland. They're only partly in Europe, but they don't mind taking people's tax-free money. Number 8, Switzerland. Number 9. Belgium. And number 10, Portugal. Minion Me wants to know, does it count if I have a mouse mat that has a map of the world on it? Well, if you only just realise that now, after me giving you the answers, of course it doesn't count. But if you used it to get the correct answers, that was probably the most cleverest thing you've done in the last 39 weeks. 40 weeks, including our week off. Okay. Electric Sheep Minion. Lovely chocolate, great clocks, and lots of Nazi gold. I think he's talking about Belgium. Okay, who was I thinking about when I put this little video in? I did, of course, and I was thinking about my friend Ardo RFNC and his love for penguins. Gary Butt, Mr. Butt, happy birthday and thank you very much for your very kind donation to our virtual tip jar. Okay, in March, the country of North Macedonia joined NATO, taking the members' countries to a total of how many? The correct answer was C, 30. It's so easy, it's embarrassing. Her indoors got it straight away without even reading the options. Venkatesh Sapath is now following. Thank you very much, and you are welcome. Now, our next one. According to Forbes magazine, which CEO is the first person in history to have a net worth exceeding $200 billion? It is Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. I'd also like to say, hey, Welcome Una Bannon, my cousin from Newry. Now joining in and following tonight. And Uncle Tony Little. Everyone's uncle on our Irish question mark quizzes. Thank you for following in and joining us. Also, Paul Houghton, thank you for joining us. Is that who I think it is? Number 3. Gisan Chung is the original title of this South Korean movie, which collected 4 Oscars in 2020. The English title was Parasite. I'd like to welcome Kate, also joining us and following the Irish question mark in Twitch. Thank you very much indeed. All these people coming to join us tonight. Beautiful. Number 4. In May. Which country was the first to legalize same-sex marriage in Central America? Your 3 choices: Costa Rica, Panama, or Nicaragua. The correct answer was A, Costa Rica. Okay, number 5 was a Jan the Man question, especially for our good friend Gordy and Suze up in Aberdeen. Where men are men, sheep are scared, the buildings are grey and it's usually raining. When did Scotland's men last qualify for a major international football tournament? It was back in
04.
Not 04. Shocking. 1998, the World Cup. Number 6, the Exeter-based regional airline that went into administration in March 2020 was Flybe.
Yeah.
Number 7, who said about COVID-19, it's going to disappear one day, it's like a miracle, it will disappear. Yes, indeed, folks. It wasn't fake news, it was Donald Trump. I like this question. In 2020, who became the first female artist to have a top 40 album in each of the last 7 decades? Her indoors, who do you think it was? The last 7 decades. Her indoors says Madonna, folks. Unbelievable. It was, in fact, Shirley Bassey. Goldfinger! Wonderful Welsh singer. Number 9. What was the name of the gentleman from Warwickshire who was the second British person to get the COVID-19 vaccine? He was, in fact, William Shakespeare, ladies and gentlemen. Minyami and Liz has said, we had Dolly Parton. Isn't that fantastic? But wrong. And number 10, Kanye West, to the nearest 1,000. How many votes did he receive in this year's US election? 40, 50 or 60,000 votes. What do you think, Aaron Doors? 60,000 votes is right. It's no wonder that the US is in the state that it's in. Okay. So now, I normally at this time would say to you, send any photographs of your team or your family members playing the quiz so that we can share news with everyone else. Now, I would love if you took a photograph of yourself. Hey, Claire, even yourself, and is it Ain, I am, or Lame? Liam playing the quiz tonight in Ireland. And then just email it to me at irishquestionmark@gmail.com. Now, folks, because there was no dingbats or no anagrams, I wanted to say a wee message to a few people. So before I do that, make sure you type George into the chat and you can get entered into the draw. So let me see. I wanted to say a big thank you very much to our anagram dancers that have made me smile every single week that since the lockdown has started. Every time I see these lunatics doing their moves for the quizzes, it is an absolutely beautiful thing to see. I'd also like to thank Arto, our very own FNC Finnish comedian. Arto, I love the ground you walk on, my friend. And I seen this and I thought of you. 1 minute you're young and wild, and the next you are into air fryers. I'd also like to thank Jan de Man, who is in fact our official FIFA recognised Dutch virtual referee, and I hope one day soon he gets to do a top Premiership or a Champions League game, and of course he wears the Irish ? Masks, because he's got 3 of them now, folks, and he's going for the mug tonight. I'd also like to thank all the minions for just being minions. And if you didn't see the Christmas show, shame on you. But if you did see the Christmas show, you'll see something that was absolutely magic that they made about the things that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. So bear with me when I play for the last time ever until next year at Christmas time, I think. Stay the Frank at home. Feel free to sing along. Friday night and you're quarantined alone, come have a look with ? And stay the Frank at home. When your better half is giving birth and stable on her own, just be wise, take my advice and stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. You'll be just fine in sting that time, so stay the Frank at home. If you are a referee, your match has been postponed. There's FIFA on the Xbox too, so stay the Frank at home. Everyone loves a twerking turkey. If you are a legend and you're living in their zone, force her indoors to bolt the doors or stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. One of those face moms too. Stay the Frank at home. If you like to go out and play on the windy moors, don't you be an FSC and fly your kite indoors. Fly your kite indoors. Fly your kite indoors. We do care what you fly in air, but fly your kite indoors. Even if it's your birthday for 40 weeks in a row, just blow your candles out alone and stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. Stay the Frank at home. We'll get it done in 21. Just stay the Frank at home.
No kiss, no kiss.
Oh, fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And of course, you know, there's too many people to mention, but if you see your picture up in the following pages, yes, folks, you, each one of you have absolutely touched my heart over the last, nearly a year. You know, just hanging together on a Friday night, having a laugh, sharing some smiles, some giggles, not taking life too seriously. It's been absolutely beautiful, and it's sort of kept me sane. So thank you very much indeed, and especially their mum, Maida Meriden. We have to give her a special mention before she's driven out of Meriden down to Burnham-on-Sea. Apparently it has a very small pier. And it would be rude of me not to sort of have a real special mention to the most important person in my life, her indoors, for sharing our home, sharing our Friday nights, and letting me share some smiles every week since March 2020. I absolutely love the ground she walks on.
Me too.
But don't tell her, because that's her annual compliment for 2021. All right, folks, we're going to take a very short break. And what I decided was I'm going to put this up on YouTube like I normally do. But I get a slap on the wrist if I play any music in the background. But what I've decided was I'd have a little look at what was my favorite video that we played in the shows at the start of the year. Get your dancing shoes, folks, on. Get up and join me dancing around the room to probably one of the best live videos that I've seen in a long, long time. Ardo, get the air fryer on. See you shortly.
Good evening, New York. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, Madison Square Garden. I'm coming. Put your hands together. I'm coming. For a man who with his party
is rather deafening. There we go. Hopefully. Okay, folks, you know where to find me. You've done it again. She's done it again, folks. I handed her the phone and now the music stopped. Oh, she put it back on now. Okay, anyway, you know where to find me, folks. Torbeck and Lamb here in The Hague or on the interweb via YouTube, via Instagram, via Facebook, and of course here on twitch.tv. Okay, I'd like to thank a few people for some donations to the virtual tip jar. M. Van den Hoek, thank you very much indeed for your kind donation. Also, thank you very much for your kind donation from All in Warren Point. No need for that, but thank you very much indeed. And I'm glad you're enjoying the show. Okay, so let's get started with round 4. Question number 1. Very dramatic thing happened in August. 220 people were killed with an explosion and 300,000 people made homeless when some ammonium nitrate that was being stored illegally. I'd like you to tell me in which city was it stored, please. Pat the Beard, thank you very much for your kind donation, my friend. So number 1, in August, 220 people were killed, 300,000 made homeless by an explosion of ammonium nitrate being stored illegally. Where was it stored? Sorry about the problems that you're having tonight, folks, with the interweb. Some things are beyond our control. I'll be speaking very sternly to her indoors when I get the chance and go offline. Happy birthday, Frank, and thank you for your kind donation, Frank. Question number 2. What is the name of Joe Biden's wife, who will become the First Lady in 2021? I'd also like to tell Minion Me, Mrs. Biden will not get you a point. Minion Jesse, my corporate, what was Jesse's term in your technical department, Herndors? Genius. Our genius of the technical department says that it's not actually me, it's Twitch. Liz wants to know, does Dr. Biden work? Now, Dr. Biden in most quizzes would get you a point, but not here. I want her first name, Dr. What Biden. And I hope I didn't upset you too much, Liz. It is the first quiz of the year, and I hate to hurt Liz the legend, a legend. Number 3. Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent is the debut album of which Scottish singer-songwriter? What did you do to Gordy and Suze up in Aberdeen? You dumped them out of the chat for 20 minutes earlier on. Did you actually do that intentionally?
I did not.
Are you saying now like Twitch is being run by a Celtic fan?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Gordy, I'm thinking quite possibly, my friend, there could be issues tonight with the Twitch format or platform, should I say, or the internet's quite quiet because everybody's suffering from Hogmanay celebrations or lack of celebrations. Number 4. Dr. Green Thumb Biden. I don't think that's the right name, but I like the way you're thinking. Number 4 is, what does COVID-19 stand for? Gordy's saying that he's too rough. He's too rough to type anyway, so he's glad of the break. Happy New Year, Wendy, Made American, Jeff and the family. Thank you for your kind donation. Thank you very much indeed. That's the artist formerly known as Made American, soon to be known as Baroness of Burnham. What can I tell you? She's going up in the world. Number 5 is Jan the Man, our FIFA referee. Thank you very much, Aaron Doors. Which footballer campaigned for free school vouchers to be extended in 2020? Her indoors, is he playing football at this present moment in time?
Yeah.
He is indeed apparently not thinking about free school vouchers at the moment. He is playing football as we speak. Mina Meriden is extremely happy with her new term, Baroness of Burnham. It just came to me in a flash, Wendy. Which footballer campaigned for free school vouchers to be extended in 2020? Question number 6. Now, I have to be very honest, ladies and gentlemen. When I was looking for a video to do with Kim Kardashian, this was the cleanest one that I could find. In case you know how much of a politically correct person that I am, and we all know that it's a family show, so I had to keep my thoughts clean and to put this one in. What big birthday did Kim Kardashian celebrate in 2020? Gordy's just said that the answer to the last question plays for that shite team, though. Herman Doors has just shown Gordy a yellow card, ladies and gentlemen. Her finger is just so close to dumping him out. Don't do it. That's all he wants. That's all he wants. He only wants to be thrown out. When he said plays for that shite football team, I thought he was thinking it was a Celtic player. Question number 7.
No, I'm going to make him stay on and suffer.
Minion Jesse's just flashed a yellow card at him. In September, who got married to American actor David Harbour in a Las Vegas wedding chapel? Gordy says that's for saying that Scotland last qualified in 1904. I love it, buddy. I love it. In September, who got married to American actor David Harbour in a Las Vegas wedding chapel? Well, you wouldn't really know him, but you might know his wife. It's not Rita Ora, and Minion Me, it's not Mrs. Harbour, although technically it is, but that's actually not the answer I was looking for. No, not yet. Number 8, based on a novel by Jack London. Harrison Ford attempts to survive the frozen Yukon in which 2020 movie? Based on a novel by Jack London, Harrison Ford attempts to survive the frozen Yukon in which 2020 movie? I know Harbour, and I know even the brother of the wife. Her endorse is blatantly stating the obvious. Minion Me, you must know the answer then. Benny gets it wrong. Number 9. What generation of iPhone was launched by Apple in 2020? What generation of iPhone was launched by Apple in 2020? And number 10. Who said in 2020, "Will you shut up, man? This is so unpresidential"? Who said? Her indoors nearly shouted the answer out, folks. Who said in 2020, "Will you shut up, man? This is so unpresidential"?
I was going to say Suze to Gordy.
Suze to Gordy. Okay, moving on to round 5. Minion Me wants to know extra points for his nickname.
Minion Me, yeah.
No. Gordy says, I say... Oh, Susie's got control of the keyboard. She says, I say a lot worse to him. Yeah, I was very surprised that you'd call him the president, yeah. Okay. In October, which Southern Hemisphere politician won a second term in a landslide victory? In October, which Southern Hemisphere politician won a second term in a landslide victory? The correct answer is, you'll find in a minute. I see, I'm reading the chat there and Liz saying, next slide, please. I mean, she's worse than you. She just wants to give out orders. I mean, I thought she'd change. It's 2021. I thought she'd be loving, caring, and not scare the shit out of me and surprise me at my door on a regular basis. We'll see. I know it was the gift with the head bump. The fisherman, it was starting to hurt your head. Erin Dorr says, close your eyes. She's a very caring person. Number 2, who plays Detective Superintendent Stella Gibson in The Fall? This was a series that was played on British TV and also on Dutch TV, based in Belfast. Fantastic. I've given you a bit of a clue by letting you see her face, but it's not really how she looks normally. If you wouldn't have asked who played her in the spring, well, I did say at the start of the show, Minion Jesse, you balloon, that it was 2020. I've been doing the shows for 39 weeks in a row. I have happened to use a bit of current affairs material. Not that it's a touchy point, but I think we'll move on slightly. Question number 3. I don't know. I think Gordy's just pushed Suze off the keyboard. Stars and Irish nuts are like there's too few of them. Question number 3. I think even Gordy might get this one correct. Which country was due to host last year's Eurovision Song Contest? Which country was due to host last year's Eurovision Song Contest? Question number 4. Which European country became the first country to implement a nationwide lockdown because of the COVID-19 virus? Which European country became the first country to implement a nationwide lockdown because of the COVID-19 virus? Australia. Is that a country? Number 5. In June 2020, which author released a new fairy tale entitled The Ichabog in a free online installments? Electric Sheep Minion's been quiet tonight, honestly. No alcohol, you see, to create the inspiration, to get the cogs going in his head. Frank reckons Hans Christian Andersen. It's been a while since Hans Christian Andersen published anything online. Or is he dead? If he's not dead, they've done something really awful to him. They've buried him. Oh, her indoors. Give Electric Sheep Minions some sympathy. He's not drinking tonight because he had too much alcohol yesterday. In the USA, a Supreme Court feminist icon died aged 87. We did ask this question. I simply want you to tell me your first name. Minion Me wants me to ask you for her whole name, but that's because she knows the answer, folks. Number 7, Birds of Prey, starring Margot Robbie, is based on which character from the DC Comics universe? It's not what you... Eddie the Eagle is not a member of the Marvel DC Comics.
You said Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey, starring Margot Robbie, is based on which character from DC Comics universe? That is Question number 7. Gordy's giving some advice to the Electric Sheep Minion. Says, I'm fine now after a few tinnies. Get back on it, Minion. Number 8. Do you remember this? In Bristol, a statue of which 17th century merchant, slave trader and philanthropist was pulled down in Bristol. What was the name of the guy? Maybe I should charge Electric Sheep Minion. Yeah, I mean, I patented that phrase. Jeppy Coon. Her the dog. Whore the dog. Question number 9. This also was the cleanest videos that I could find on the internet of Cardi B. Who did Cardi B team up with for the single WAP in August 2020? Who did Cardi B team up with for the single WAP, W-A-P, in August 2020? And your last question in this round, round number 5. Which country has built a massive dam on the River Nile, which has outraged Egypt and threatened its water supply? Which country has built a massive dam on the River Nile, which has outraged Egypt and threatened its water supply? There's a nice invitation for Electric Sheep Minion to go across to Aberdeen and to have a liter of Gordy's nearly frozen vodka in the freezer. Gordy, you do realise he'd have to quarantine with you for 10 days at a minimum. Minion Jesse, just a quick ferry away. You see, I have problems saying that word ferry because it sounds like furry, like a furry animal. Moving on to our last round in our review of the year 2020 and what a year it has been. Round 6, here is your first question. Great movie this, went to the cinema. Yes, indeed, when we could go to cinemas. Who directed the First World War movie 1917, released in January 2020? Porcupine 7, thank you very much for coming on board and following the Irish Question Mark Twitch. Who directed the First World War movie 1917? It was released in January 2020. Question number 2. Lady Gaga teamed up with which superstar on the track Rain on Me? Lady Gaga teamed up with which superstar on the track Rain on Me? Gordy said he saw it, but it wasn't great. Did you see it on your TV at home on Netflix, or did you go to the cinema with all the sound effects and the massive screen? Or is there in fact a cinema in Aberdeen? Now that's a question. Number 3, thousands of people protested the death of a man arrested by police in the United States of America. What was his name? And in which city did this happen? So 2 points up for grabs in this question, folks. Hi, Porcupine 7. Nice to have you on board. Thousands of people protested the death of a man arrested by the police in the United States of America. What was his name? And in which city did this happen? Porcupine 7, if you type George into the chat, you will be entered into tonight's free draw. We have the Irish question mark face mask, handmade in Ireland, Irish linen on the inside, 3-colour embroidered. And we also have the Irish question mark mug with a little spoon that fits in the handle. We are raffling them off later on. Number 4, May 2020 broke a UK weather record. Was it the sunniest, the wettest, or the coldest May on record? So May 2020 broke a record in the UK. Was it the sunniest, the wettest, or the coldest? Number 5. Number 5 is a Jan the Man question. Thank you, Herrindoors. Footballer Jack Charlton passed away in July. He played for just one club, making 629 appearances for them. Which football club did the legend Jack Charlton play for? No, Frank, it wasn't ADO Den Haag. Question number 6. Movie question. Will Smith and which other main star reprised their roles in Bad Boys for Life? Will Smith and which other main star reprised their roles in Bad Boys for Life? Number 7. Who conducted the Panorama interview with the Princess of Wales in 1995 and it led to a 2020 BBC apology? Who conducted the Panorama interview with the Princess of Wales in 1995 and it led to a 2020 BBC apology? Number 8. Who revealed with his wife Rita Wilson that he had tested positive for COVID-19 in Australia? Who revealed with his wife Rita Wilson that he had tested positive for COVID-19 in Australia? Number 9. In our last round tonight at our quiz review of 2020, the Irish question mark quiz number 39 in a row since our quarantine started. Who got our very first tattoo? It was a wrist tattoo featuring the initials of all 6 of her children. Who got our very first tattoo? It was a wrist tattoo featuring the initials of all 6 of her children. No, it was not Herrindoors, ladies and gentlemen. We've only got 3 kids, and if she's got 6, I'd love to know where the hell the other 3 are. Hidden in a box. Gordy says, was it the Queen? Herrindoors says, have you watched The Crown yet? Last question, question number 10. Which company announced it will stop printing its annual catalogue? Now, Maida Meriden, soon to be Baroness of Burnham. Anybody else that's based in England, Gary, but do not think that Argus is the correct answer, because it's not. Which company announced it would stop printing its annual catalogue? Pat the Beard's just jumped in or woke up and typed in Playboy. I don't know what sort of catalogue he orders from Playboy, But if you could pass it on, I'd be gladly accepting it. Alrighty. Okay, folks. So back very, very shortly for the second half answers. Minion Jesse's saying, and I'd love to know how Minion Jesse knows this with his missus sitting next to him. No, they just stick to the interviews now. Alrighty, folks. Hopefully you have entered tonight's draw and you will be in the lining to win one of the Irish question mark mugs or one of the Irish question mark face masks. Minion Jesse's better halves stopped the subscription because it only went to interviews and the photographs stopped. That explains the violence. Oh my God. What happens in Fuxia Strad stays in Fuxia Strad. Okay, folks, make sure you follow me on the chat room. Type in George if you haven't done it already. And that should get you to enter automatically into our free draw tonight. Chicken Dinners asking, could I repeat question number 9? I think that's from the last round, round 6. That would be, who got our very first tattoo? And it was a wrist tattoo featuring the initials of all 6 of our children. Gordy from Aberdeen was trying to help you and said the Queen, but that wasn't the actual answer that I was looking for, to be totally honest. Okay, folks, so let's move on slightly. The virtual tip jar is open. Thank you very much indeed for your kind donations so far. If you enjoyed the show, folks, this is my main income at the moment, but hopefully we will be returning to more face-to-face days in the very near future. I also have set up a YouTube channel that if you wanted to watch any of the shows, I upload most of them, that I don't play sort of copyrighted music in the background. I upload them, and I upload them especially for my cousin Christopher in Armagh. He likes to watch them on his TV. He's in quarantine at the moment. He hasn't been feeling well, but I'm wishing him all the very best, Christopher, and I'll give you a call in a couple of days. Okay, folks, so if you've not subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, please get into YouTube and subscribe to the Irish question mark YouTube channel. As soon as I get to 100 numbers, I'm going to run an extra little show on YouTube only alongside this Friday night weekly online show. Let's go back to the questions and answers to round 4. Her indoors is dancing because we're listening to Radio 2 and Ed Sheeran's on. Dancing around, folks, honestly. This is why we've got a padded walls around in our living room so she doesn't hurt herself. Number 1, the correct answer was Beirut in Lebanon. The massive explosion with the illegally stored ammonium nitrate in the dock area. Absolutely shocking. I actually thought it was a nuclear explosion when I first seen the video. So 1 point for Beirut. Number 2, Joe Biden's wife is Dr. Jill Biden. Very special lady in her own right. Number 3, especially for Gordy and Susie and anyone else that is of a Scottish heritage. Thank you very much, Aaron Doors. Divinely uninspired to a hellish extent, it is Mr. Lewis Capaldi. An absolutely amazing Scottish artist. I suppose he's nearly as good as the Best City Rollers, one of Aaron Doors' favourite bands of all time. Number 4, what does COVID-19 stand for? Minion Jesse said, decline, heritage, same difference. Well spotted, Minion Jesse, but that's not a nice thing to say. You might upset Gordy. Anna has typed Georgian again, thinking that she might be able to enter the draw for a second time. It doesn't work that way, Anna, but I like the way you're thinking. Coronavirus disease 2019 is the correct answer to that one. Jan the Man asked which footballer campaigned for free school vouchers to be extended in 2020. Did he score that goal against Aston Villa here indoors?
What?
Did he score that goal? Who scored that goal?
Martial.
Who?
Martial.
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 Martial. Marcel. Honestly. You mean the French guy? Oui. Okay. Marcus Rashford was the answer we were looking for. Gordy saying the rollers were great here indoors. Did you? Shang-a-lang. She often shang-a-lang that slapper. Number 6. What big birthday did Kim Kardashian celebrate in 2020? The same birthday as her indoors celebrated a few decades ago. Her indoors, I often shanked a lang. It's a family show, her indoors. What are you saying?
Oh, Miss Typo.
Oh, typo. Number 7. In September. Who got married to American actor David Harbour? Yes, indeed, it was Mrs. Harbour in a Las Vegas wedding chapel. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to do? You and I just shoot off to Vegas and get the king. I do. Lily Allen. Maybe I'll wait until Lily Allen gets divorced and I'll ask her. She probably gets cheap second time round in the Las Vegas chapel. Give yourself a point for Las Vegas. Number 8, based on the novel by Jack London, Harrison Ford attempts to survive the frozen Yukon in Call of the Wind. Give yourself a point if you got that correct. Number 9, what generation of iPhone was launched by Apple in 2020? It was the iPhone 12. Wild question mark. Wild question mark what? That's the question. Or is it a dangerous thing to ask Gordy what he means? Number 10. Who said, will you shut up, man? This is so unpresidential. It was, of course, the soon-to-be president in waiting, Mr. Joe Biden. Gordy said, Call of the Wild. He never listens, does he? Huh? Does he? Her indoors hasn't got a clue what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It was called Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild or Call of the Wind? I actually think Call of the Wind's better, but I think it is actually Call of the Wild. Let's go back and have a little look. Call of the Wind. It's not Call of the Wild. Oh, it's Call of the Wild. It's not Call of the Wind. I'm getting all confused. Give yourself a point for the Call of the Wild. And ignore what I said, the Call of the Wind. Don't time him out. Leave him alone. This is the only place left in the whole of Europe that he's welcome. I mean, Brexit, he's stuck in Aberdeen, it's all grey, it's rainy. Poor Susan's going straight to heaven with the abuse that she's got to take 7 days a week from him. In October. Gone with the wine. Well done, Pat. Which Southern Hemisphere politician won a second term in a landslide victory? It was indeed Jacinda Ardern from New Zealand. Minion Me said, I got Call of the Wind a few minutes ago. My girlfriend told me to do that in the loo the next time. As long as it wasn't a wet one, he's all safe. Number 2. Who plays the detective Superintendent Stella Gibson in The Fall? Gillian Anderson. And it's quite a good series to watch, folks, if you haven't seen it. If you've got some spare time, yes, and you're not standing in queues outside bakers or post offices or supermarkets. Yes, Frank, it is indeed Scully, but that is not the answer we were looking for. But if you enjoyed her in the X-Files, then you definitely will enjoy her in this. Number 3, which country was due to host last year's Eurovision? It was supposed to be in Rotterdam. And they're going to try and do it in 2021. I personally am not feeling too confident that they're going to be doing the live show in the way that we hope it to be. Anyway, time will tell. Number 4. Which European country became the first country to implement a nationwide lockdown because of the virus? It was Italy. Number 5. In June, which author released a new fairy tale intended the Ichabod bog in a free online installments? It was J.K. Rowling. Give yourself a point for that. Number 6. In the USA, a Supreme Court feminist icon died. It was, of course, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But if you just had Ruth, give yourself a point, and it might upset Liz the Legend. Number 7, Birds of Prey. Nothing to do with Eddie the Eagle, her indoors, starring Margot Robbie. Based on which character? The answer, Harley Quinn.
Harlequin.
Not Harlequin, Harley Quinn. Number 8, a statue of which 17th century merchant slave trader and philanthropist was pulled down in Bristol? Edward Colston is the correct answer. Her indoors saying all 3. 3 points, okay? Okay, thanks. Okay. Frank says too bad. It would have been better with Eddie the Eagle.
That's right.
All right. Number 9. Who did Cardi B team up with for the single WAP in August 2020? Megan Thee Stallion. Do you know who this person is? Megan Thee or Megan Thee Stallion? I don't know who she is, but I'm going to do a little bit of research. I'm going to do a little bit of research purely for quiz purposes. And number 10. The country that built a massive dam on the River Nile and that have upset Egypt is Ethiopia. About time they got a lot of water. Liz, my daughter was literally teaching me about her last week. Who's she talking about? Ruth or Megan? I don't know.
Hopefully Ruth.
If you had said what WAP stood for, I would have known. Minion me. If I had said the answer, you might have got it right too. Okay, so moving on swiftly to our last round. Round 6. Here are your answers to this one. Minion me, our automatic slap on the wrist has given you a yellow card for typing in wet ass cat. Minion me now realizes ass with a star is also forbidden. Talking about asses, that's a great gif. Number 1, who directed the first World War movie in 1917, released in January 2020? It was, of course, for 1 point, Mr. Sam Mendes. Sit through a movie full of explosions with a guy from 1 point. There only was 2 that day. Enough of that. Number 2, Lady Gaga teamed up with which superstar on the track Rain on Me? The answer is Ariana Grande. Talking about explosions, it's pretty ironic that her name comes into the chat again. Did I say that out loud? Number 3. The correct answer, 1 point for George Floyd. And 1 point for Minneapolis. There we go. I like the way Minion Jesse is like giving him codes to type in how to say ass. Like at $. Jesse really needs to get out more often. Or he needs to reorder Penthouse. One of the two. Number 4, May 2020 breaks which UK recent weather record? It was the sunniest May since records began.
May I just remind, a reminder from me.
Her indoors is saying, can we just remind you? Her indoors is reminding you, folks. Number 5. Jan the Man, footballer Jack Shorten, passed away in July. He played for one club. It was Leeds United. Minion Jesse saying, don't worry, you don't know my family. Number 6, Will Smith, and the other main star was Martin Lawrence. What have you started? Give yourself a point for that, number 6. Number 7, who conducted the Panama interview, Panorama interview with Princess of Wales. It was Martin Bashir, and it brought on an apology from the BBC in 2020, and apparently he's unavailable for an interview because he's not well. Number 8, who revealed his wife Rita Wilson that he had tested positive for COVID-19 along with her. It was Mr. Tom Hanks, and I'm glad to say that they have both come through the other side and are awaiting their next chance and opportunity to catch it again. Number 9, who got her very first tattoo. It was a wrist tattoo featuring the initials of all her 6 children. And if you actually have a look in this picture, ladies and gentlemen, this is my Madonna tattoo that I got done last year. Madonna is the correct answer. Thank you very much. Number 10. Which company announced it will stop printing its annual catalogue? It is IKEA. Holy shock!
Thank you, God.
Asterisk, double, dollar sign. It is not Argus, Maid of Meriden, Baroness of Burnham-on-Sea. I mean, that's got such a freaking ring to it. How am I going to keep remembering how to say that? Thank you very much, Baroness on Burnham-on-Sea. All right. Okay, folks, the virtual tip jar is open for another couple of minutes. If you'd like to donate via the links, thank you very much indeed for all your kind donations so far. Guess what? We're back next Friday. Yes, indeed. We're back next Friday here indoors. Any plans for next Friday, 8 o'clock? Where will you be?
Watching paint dry.
Watching paint dry, sitting at the kitchen table in the lounge. Sitting on the kitchen table in the lounge. Yes, indeed. Folks, thank you very much indeed. What can I tell you? I have thoroughly enjoyed our little get-together. Happy New Year to you one and all. I hope it's going to be a healthy one. Electric Sheep Minion said, I'll be here, dingbat mad and anagram crazy. Yes, indeed. Lorraine is saying Argus is also stopping their catalogue. But my question to you would be, is the Argus a once-a-year catalogue, or was it produced in certain seasons of the year? When you find that answer out, I'll gladly accept your written apology. Now, folks, here are our mask winners. Would you like to be a mask winner? Who is going to stop Jan the Man winning 4 masks or possibly a mug? COVID sneeze. I think I'm allergic to either New Year's Day that's just come on the radio by U2 or possibly Her Indoors. Thank you very much, Dutch referee. That doesn't get you any favours because the computer picks randomly who's going to win the prizes. So, let's go. And, oh no, has it worked? Her Indoors. I'm feeling nervous. Let's close the entries. We'll give you, hold on, don't be banging anything now, because every time you bang the table, something happens to the computer. Wait a second. Folks, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to type George into the chat. If you have not typed it in already, you will not be in tonight's draw.
What's this first draw for?
Too late, her indoors. Now, let's pick a winner. Boom! Shakala! The winner of the Irish question mark face mark is Minion Me! Are you still on board, Minion Me? Yeah! Okay, Minion Me, you know what you need to do. You need to send a photograph of you playing tonight's quiz. You need to go out and buy yourself a lottery ticket. And you need to not forget me when you win millions. Because I was here every Friday night entertaining you and putting up with your very poorly translated Dutch jokes. My friend, congratulations. Email me via irishquestionmark@gmail.com. And I'll pop it in the post. Or I might make some sort of files and pop it round to Jesse Minion and he can get it to you. I'll leave it up to Jesse. His decision. Okay, let's pick another winner. Boom! Next winner is Anna_90. I do believe that's a member of the Tree Rocks or quiz team in memory of our old friend Mo Dempsey. Are you still on board, Anna?
Yeah.
Anna's on board. I'm going to ask you, what would you like, Anna? Would you like one of the Irish question mark face masks, the most sought after item on the interweb, or would you like me to try and package up and post one of these to you? I can't guarantee the frickin' handle's going to get to you in one piece. That is the problem with the cups. But if you're willing to take the gamble, so am I. Let me know, Anna, what you would like. The face mask or the cup. And email me at irishquestionmark@gmail.com. Give me your postal address and I'll get it in the post. More than likely tomorrow. Okay, folks, that's it. What can I tell you? Talk about tomorrow. I have to say one more time, very happy birthday to my dad. It's going to be his birthday tomorrow. I'm going to give him a quick call. Thank you very much for hanging around in Malaysia, Mr. T. Happy New Year. Minion Jesse said nothing can be guaranteed, not even the delivery of your mask. Thank the Dutch Post. Yes, indeed. It's been wonderful, folks. What can I tell you? I'll see you all next week. Myself, her indoors, and any of you beautiful people that would like to sort of hang around and share some smiles. I'll see you all next week. Happy New Year. And whatever you do, folks, what do they need to do, her indoors? Stay the Frank at home.
The whole world's caught a virus. You're not in this alone, but you can help to cure it. Just stay the fuck at home.
We're all stuck here in quarantine. It's like the Twilight Zone. To save the world, you only have to stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Don't you be a fucking dick.
Stay the fuck at home.
If you're locked down with your hubby or going in alone, sisters need to teach their men, stay the fuck at home.
Whether you've got 12 kids or you're living on your own, shut it down and isolate. Stay the fuck at home.
Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Watch Netflix in your underwear.
Just stay the fuck at home.
But I need the gym and I need the beach. We hear you bitch and moan. You need to grow a brain cell and stay the fuck at home.
But I feel fine, I don't feel sick. I'll go out on my own. I think of you, you selfish prick. Just stay the fuck at home.
Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Sit on the couch and do fuck all.
Stay the fuck at home. You're living in a dome. Spreads faster than a hooker's leg, so stay the fuck at home.
To the doctors and the truckies, those who put food on our plate, you keep the whole place running so we can isolate.
Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
You can be a hero too.
Stay the fuck at home.
The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home.
Sit on the couch and drink VV, get shit-faced on your own. We don't care what you're doing there, just stay the fuck at home.
If you need to contact family, use Facebook, Skype or phone. Yeah, we've got the fucking internet, so stay the fuck at home.
From LA through to Berlin, from Wuhan through to Rome, there's people dying every day. Please stay the fuck at home.
Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Don't you be a fucking dick.
Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.
Don't you be a fucking dick.
Stay the fuck at home.
Stay the fuck at home.
All right, folks, thank you very much. Good luck. Have a safe week. Drop me by email at irishquestionmark@gmail.com tonight's winners with your postal addresses, and I'll get it off to you in the morning. It's been absolutely lovely, folks. I missed you all last week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in a week's time. You know where to find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course here on Twitch TV. That's all, folks. See you next Friday.